What's going on, everyone? Chris Mack coming at you today with the Mezco Gotham by Gaslight Batman action figure. And if you guys want to pick up this beautiful piece, at the time of this recording, it is unfortunately sold out at all the conventional routes. But as I always say, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is that you get your action figures and comics and see if they have it in stock. If not, at the time of this recording, Mezco does have a wait list, so there is that option. And the packaging is beautiful. I love this dark gray. This is Mezco exclusive here. 1/12 collective. Pose, play, and display. DC. And then this is the original cover of the comic. Looks beautiful. And then, of course, the Mezco logo there. Awesome close-up of Batman there on the side. On the back, you get this awesome plethora of accessories and different ways that you can photograph and or pose your action figure. We will get into this in just a moment. On this side, the same awesome picture of Batman. On the bottom, not a whole lot there. So with that said, let's get this awesome piece out and get a closer look at it. Imagine a Gotham City shrouded in fog, gaslights flickering, horse-drawn carriages rattling across cobblestone streets, shadows stretching across towering Victorian buildings. This is Gotham, as it might have looked more than a century ago. The year is 1889, just 1 year after Jack the Ripper terrorized London, and Gotham is steeped in mystery and danger. This is the world of Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, a groundbreaking comic released in February 1989, written by Brian Augustyn, with atmospheric art by Mike Mignola, inks by P. Craig Russell, and colors by David Horong. This tale brings a unique blend of history and fiction to life. In this story, a 19th century Bruce Wayne returns home to find Gotham gripped by fear as criminal gangs challenge the law with boldness and brutality. To combat the encroaching darkness, Bruce adopts the persona of Batman, a symbol of justice and hope, determined to rid his city of its scourge. As the Dark Knight begins his crusade, a string of brutal murders terrorizes Gotham's women, echoing the horrific events that captivated London. A new killer emerges, one echoing Jack the Ripper himself, stalking Gotham streets and preying on its women. The stakes become personal for Bruce as police scrutiny intensifies, piecing together his mysterious late-night absences. The narrative expertly intertwines the legend of Jack the Ripper with Batman's mythology, drawing inspiration from the real fears of a century ago. Released on the 100th anniversary of the Ripper murders, this comic brilliantly connects historical horror with the iconic figure of Batman, enriching the tale for modern readers. Brian Augustyn has shared that portraying Batman in a gothic, industrial setting was pivotal for exploring darker themes. This choice roots Batman in real-world horror, elevating the psychological thriller aspects of the story. Mike Mignola's signature artistic style, characterized by deep shadows and intricate details, captures an eerie, gothic atmosphere that draws readers in. The visual storytelling complements a suspense-filled narrative, making it a must-read for newcomers and longtime fans alike. Gotham by Gaslight is more than a standalone tell. It is widely considered the first true Elseworlds story, a blueprint for DC's what-if universes, featuring DC characters in alternate timelines or realities that diverge from the main DC Universe canon. Its legacy didn't stop with one chapter. It continued with Master of the Future from 1991, the Kryptonian Age from 2024, and A League for Justice. With such a rich history behind it, does Mezco's Gotham by Gaslight Batman figure deliver? Does it capture that eerie Victorian atmosphere and gothic menace that made the comic an instant classic? Let's take a closer look. The paint apps in and of themselves is beautiful as per Mezco's style. I love that the clothes, instead of just being painted on, is actual cloth. Mezco does recommend, when you open a figure, it says to be careful constantly moving your figure around as you can start to wear the cloth. And that's probably one thing about these that annoy me, because you know, when you buy a figure, you don't want to have to worry about that. But it's supposed to be posed, as we're us who take action figure photography. We tend to get a little deep in the paint with our figures. I love this big steampunk style belt. It has that leather look. This strap right here can come out, but I don't want to chance it. I don't want to break it, so I'll leave it to y'all to try, but that's just an option. I love the big shin protectors here. I can't remember what they're called, and it actually goes up over the feet. You can see how it connects on the back. The buckles look beautiful, and I love that everything looks dirty, not just like a clean paint. Even the clothes kind of have like an industrial dirty look, like the polluted skies of Gotham have essentially crescent Batman's clothes. The face sculpt, gorgeous. Love that you can see the blue eyes through the mask, and how the mask in and of itself, you know, like modern iterations, look good. You can see how he stitched this together to get his uniform. The gloves look good. I love all the details on the hands, and kind of has a little bit of whitewash on it, and it wraps around. The only thing that is a little frustrating, and this kind of goes back to the Marvel Legends, is even though this is loose and that's cool, it flops a lot, so you're going to have to be careful with that. Boots look great. As for the accessories, because it is Mezco, this thing comes with a plethora. So let's dive right in, because there's a lot to go over. He comes with an additional Batman head. I like that this has a little bit more of a serious tone to it compared to the default. So you have a couple of options there. Both skin tones match. Looks beautiful. Same for the unmasked Bruce Wayne, where he kind of has that more Victorian era style with the mutton chops and the gentleman, what do you call it, combed hair. Eyes match. Very beautiful. Love this addition. We also get a loose mask, so if you want to do like a photograph or pose him with the Bruce Wayne head and have him holding his mask like an introspective moment. You get this great grapple gun. I'm not going to unravel that. If you guys have, let me know how hard that is to put back together. Love the silver sheen to it. The only thing is I don't really know where you can hook this other than maybe taking this off and stuffing it in there. And I am thankful that there is, to a degree, weapon storage. So you get an extra pouch. Again, matches the leather of the belt. It's a little hard to get it hooked on there, but it's possible, and I'm not going to sit here and fight it on camera. But what I like is, so you have this, and he comes with about 4 Batarangs. And it folds up so that when you get, where'd it go? The pouch, you can stuff it in and then put it on his belt. And then when you want to use the Batarang, it unfolds, and it has that very nice steampunk look to it. The sheen and the gold looks absolutely gorgeous. He comes with about 6 knives, which the original Gaslight comic, I don't remember him using knives. If he's used them in any of the sequels, I have not read them yet, so let me know. But again, thankful for weapon storage. Even though he comes with 6 on his belt, there's slots for 3, and it fits in very well. So I'm thankful that they didn't make that too much of a chore to try to get in there. He also comes with these goggles. I'm glad that they are translucent and not like a craptastic paint job. The gold rims around it look good, and they plop on relatively easy. And it just looks like the original Gaslight comic cover. Just make sure not to stretch out the band, of course. But that looks amazing, and just gives you another layer on how you either want to display your Batman or what you want to do with it. Looks beautiful. He comes with various sets of hands. So this one's kind of a more open for throwing the Batarang. Same with that one, and they all have that dirty match that matches the ones that come on the hand. He does kind of come with a more resting open hand that makes it look like he's walking, and then kind of the classic leaping Batman hand, looks like he's coming at you. Love the work, make it look like you can actually see the knuckles and whatnot. These are probably my favorite set. And then I'm not sure what you would call these hands, which I think you can fit a knife or a batarang in there to make it look like he's throwing. So I'm glad that we got those. And lastly, we get this really cool, like, pointing accusative finger. Looks great. And then, of course, the brass badass bat knuckles. So a lot of hands. And then, of course, we saw on the default just the regular punching hands. So I love the various additions. He also comes with this really cool base. This is the cover from the original Gotham by Gaslight comic book. As you can see, Mike Mignola's artwork here just looks absolutely fantastic. And then they kind of superimpose some of the panels from the book in there. Beautiful stuff all around. Now, in addition to the stand, as you can see, I had to look this up because it really freaked me out, but you see the foot peg there? It comes with the flyer, and you can't put it over. So what you're going to have to do, and this is what I do, is thankfully there's this little hole. I just take like a little tiny screwdriver and just ever so carefully pop that out, and then the flight stand pegs in effortlessly. So I like that the flight stands actually have their own, what do you call it, personality about them instead of just being generic. That's just a lovely piece of art to have in your collection. And then he comes with his more Victorian era cape. I wish that there was bendy wire in it. Unfortunately, there's not, so you have to be a little creative. The gold chain across here looks beautiful. I love how this is folded. It does inside have these little elastics, which you got to be careful with, but you go put those on the arm, and this will stay on Batman better. But when I'm ever doing photography, and I want this to kind of flow a little bit better, I'll just put it over his shoulders. But if you want it to stay, then you'd use those elastic straps, which when I put him back in box, that's how I'm going to store him. But yeah, you get that on there. And it has that double flap here on the back. Just really, that accoutrement just makes this thing absolutely gorgeous all around. The last thing he does come with, and again, this is not something that is in the original Gotham by Gaslight. Again, I've not read Masters of the Future or any of those books, so I'm not sure where this shows up. But it's a steampunk glider. The one thing that I hate about this thing, like, it looks beautiful. Love all the intricate steampunk gears, all the golds, the silvers, and then the actual looking like there's wool to put on his shoulders so it doesn't chafe. But what I hate about it is it pops off here. And out of the box, these pegs are a pain in the ass. They kept popping out. So eventually what I had to do is I put it in front of my space heater and kind of let these loosen up. And then I kind of molded it in there. Now they actually pop into place if I want to pose them that way. So just be careful. Still a lovely, beautiful piece. That bat emblem kind of has that very rustic look to it. Just gorgeous all around. And then it comes with the wings and the handles for the hand glider do come out. And again, I love all the intricate, like Da Vinci style look to them. Kind of has that something you would see in a oh crap, who directed Hellboy? Guillermo del Toro type movie, like Hellboy or something. But I'm glad that they fold up. Just make sure to be careful, but they do expand. And then they have a little peg that go into these holes. And you don't have to use a lot of force. So again, be careful. So I like that you can make it look like he's actually flying when you get him on the stand, or if you want to have him more kind of in a standing pose, like he's getting ready to attack after landing, they fold in really nicely. And I like that you can kind of move them around a lot, so I'm glad that it has that extra articulation layer to it. Beautiful, beautiful addition to this action figure. Now for his articulation, I'm glad that Mezco really made sure that this character could move. So the head goes a nice range. You get a lot of play in it. Again, because this is a higher end figure, make sure to be careful on that. And then again, same with the cloth. So you can't really go 360 all the way around. And that's where the cloth irks my girt, because you don't want to tear any of the seams, because once it does, you're just SOL. Your figure is worth crap at that point. So you can't go 360. That's frustrating. And the other thing that I will say, like, as much as I love how it actually gives you the ripples like an actual uniform would, you don't know where the joint is. Like here, so you're not too sure where it's going to be. So you have to just kind of carefully move it until you find it. And so that's the only thing, you're kind of just moving it in the dark. But still, I love the idea. Hands have the regular articulation that other sets do. He does ab crunch very well, both front and back, and does also move at the waist. And again, you got to be careful because of the cloth. You don't want that to tear. Legs go out that much. Can kick out that far. Double jointed knees. About 90-degree elbows. Because of this foot plate, you can't really move the foot up too much, but you do have some play in the foot. And he does have a thigh swivel. And he doesn't have a butt flap, but because, again, of, what do you call it, the cloth, you're a little stopped without wanting to rip it. So even though he's kind of limited because of those things, I'm glad that Mezco's kind of at least giving you a different option compared to just the regular ugly painted on stuff like G.I. Joe or Marvel Legends. So overall, if you're a Batman fan or a newcomer to the series, this is one that you definitely want in your collection. It signifies a very important piece of Batman's mythology. And overall, it's just a beautiful addition. And when you get him in front of the camera, you guys are going to have such a great time with it. Now here's our Gaslight Batman next to the McFarlane Toys 3 Jokers Batman. The No Man's Land, we have gone over the Superpowers Black Suit Batman. And then, of course, my personal favorite out of all of these, surprisingly, the Mafex Medicom Hush Batman. Mezco's really stepping up the game, but Mafex, in my opinion, with having the bendy wire cape, like both of them have the accessories and the intricate detail. These are definitely my favorites. I'm personal to this one just because it has that old school, like Jim Aparo, early, like mid 80s to early 90s Batman look. So whichever era you love, even if you love the big, beefy Batman, as you can see here, even though he has that ugly, hard cape, still a beautiful piece. But I always go back to this one. And then, of course, as I've always told all my friends and everyone here in the community, that I'm a huge Gotham by Gaslight fan, so that is still up my alley. So again, to finish my thought, no matter what era of Batman you love, these are going to look absolutely gorgeous on your shelves, or if you do toy photography like myself, you guys are going to get some great shots out of these figures. So what era of Batman is your favorite? What are you planning to do with your Batman figures? Are you going to do them by movies, by the eras that they came out in the comics, or by lines like Mezco and Mafex? Let us know and take some photos. We'd love to check it out over on our socials. This piece is absolutely beautiful. And if you're a huge Batman fan, such as myself, this is one that you definitely want in your collection, not just because of how beautiful the piece is, but the fact that what this character represents, being the first Elseworld comic in the DC mythos. So as I say over on the deep dives, this being a part of our modern mythology, this is a great way to capture that history. And Mezco really did go out of their way to make this figure look beautiful. And with all the accessories, this is just one heck of an awesome piece. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is like to get your action figures and comics and grab this piece. If not, you can check out the places that we talked about at the beginning of the review. Speaking of, if you did enjoy this review, I really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Gaslight bell next to subscribe, that way as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone. Hey y'all, I got some action figures up for sale to make room for future reviews on the channel. If you're interested, hit me up on the socials or shoot me an email. I'm only using PayPal for now. Check out the Google link in the description for pricing and availability. If something grabs you, we can work out a price. And just a heads up, shipping will be additional based on your location. Thanks for supporting the hunt.